Alrighty. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 stream. I need to find some games. So, might be interesting if we look for them together really quick. So let me switch over to this. Ah, it worked. Show this. I should go incognito when I do this, huh? That's alright. Alright, so I have a few things I want to cast today. First of all, I want to cast this player who absolutely destroyed me in the Company of Heroes tournament. I want to cast a game from his brother. Is this person? Is it Gaia? Shoot. God is an astronaut. Yeah, there he is. And then I also want to cast a 4v4. Actually, I could probably look at the ladder for that. Man, this UI update is interesting to say the least. Man, I almost cast as a April Fool's. I almost went and found the lowest elo game I could find. But then I felt a little bad doing that, so. Alrighty. Here's a 4v4. Do I know any of these people? No. Doesn't mean I can't cast it, though. Yeah. I think I want to start with a 1v1, get warmed up here a little bit. Maybe a 2v2. I know that these players team up, so let's just see. They've got some good ones here. Chino Farmlands. I don't know that I've cast a 2v2 on this map. Elo diff there is fine. Oh, Simois, should I? 24-minute game. Oh, hey, these are the two players playing against each other. Probably learning, though. Hey, J-Raptor, how are you? You said you had some games for me. This one I need to not put on. You said you had some games for me? Doing good. My daughter is absolutely kicking my ass these last 2 weeks. So, you know how I said I was tired? It's just an all the time thing. Shoot. Can't get into my email. Hold, please. Yeah, do send me a 1v1. Yeah, if you've got one, please do it. Just want to sign in to my email. I don't know how to do what it's asking me to do. Alright. Oh, I see what it wants. Finally. Alright, we're in. We did it. Alright, I do want to cast one of these games, so... let's just do this one. I know the elos aren't exactly even. Not that bad. And I like this map, so... do that one, and I want to cast one of this player's games. So let's do... I wonder if I've cast High Five recently. Ooh, this one could be good. Let's do this one. Alright, and then finally... back to chat here. There we go. You DM'd me? Okay. Let me switch to... now I can safely open Discord without getting doxed or whatever the kids say. Alright, I think I'm going to warm up with a team game. These are all on the new map. How the heck am I supposed to introduce these players, man? Holy cow, a 40-minute game? Who is this? On the new map. Alright. Screw it. We're doing it. Yeah, I should Google Translate it. I can do that once we get in the game here. Oh, no, I can't. I have to do it from the lobby. Maybe from here. It's not working. Let's try it this way. I feel like I do need to introduce the players. You know, it's a little weird. I feel like I'm obligated to, you know? This really long name is, I'm asking you why you aren't holding the line. Did I do something wrong? Okay. Dude, I wish I could fit that many words into a username. Good lord. This guy's that rabbit. Okay. Funny. Alright, yeah. And one last thing before I start here. You know, Reddit is just melting down about balance right now. It is like, oops. It's bad. Reddit is in full meltdown. Like every 5 minutes it's a post about, you know, garbage balance. Hey Bambone, how are you? Okay, that rabbit and some really long name that I'm gonna have to somehow announce during this cast. I want to check the latest balance numbers. 4v4. Show me, yeah, latest. We're still at 60% win rate for about the high level. Less imbalanced. Okay, cool. All right, I'm a mess this morning, guys, so thanks for hanging with me. Yeah, I saw the win rates. If you filter it by high elo, like, it's not as bad. It's still bad. But I mean, frankly, there aren't enough games to like get that nuance. There's enough games to say that the highest level 4v4s are definite, or at all elos, the factions are imbalanced because there's enough games. But if you look at like 1v1 high elo, there's only 112 games played, and that's not enough to make a statistical analysis. I mean, I think we all know that they are imbalanced, but so get all nerdy for a minute. 1v1s aren't looking so bad. They were really bad. Team games are a mess, though. Oh my god. All right, let's piss off my viewer base by watching this replay. That's assuming the game's still going on. It is. Go. No. Why? This one's still going. All right, we're not translating their names. It's not happening. It's not happening. You know the cheese, it makes it a little easier for an average player. Oh, but for an average player, it's rough. Yeah. Let's see how and if the Axis player base adapts. Yeah, I mean, the first thing that's going to happen is everybody's elos are going to, like, readjust. And then who knows what happens from there. I'm actually wondering, it's so bad that I think Relic might come back and change something. We'll see. I mean, they patched the healing thing on the Grenadiers, so. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Turn off the camera, which I have a hotkey for, and I don't remember what it is. There it is. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I can hope, I guess. They probably won't do anything for a few months. Okay, and what is my hotkey for my new fancy animation? I thought it was that. It is that. Look at the subscribe. Wow. Okay. All right. Shoot. I don't know how I'm gonna introduce these folks. I think I'm just not gonna introduce anyone. Wait, is this actually Ray? Whoops. Okay. Well, we're just not gonna introduce anybody, and maybe nobody will notice. All right, here we go. Try that again. Hello and welcome. Nope. Nope. All right, one more time with gusto. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is FancyJosh, and today I've got a game for you on the newest map, which I don't know the name of, and now I have to stop the recording. God, guys, it is a rough morning. There is not enough coffee in the world. What the heck is the name of this new map? Castello de Nembia? Nibia? Castello della Nibia. Alright. Holy crap. Let's try this one more time. Wait a second. Oh, it's the 101st. I don't know if this is the real Ray or not. Presumably it is. Yes, please still be going. It's not still going. Ugh. Alright, we're going to find Ray. And we're going to look at his recent matches. And they're not loading. Alright, we're going to come back to that idea, and we're just going to observe a game. We're going to pull up some of these replays. Who is this Rant's Quest? Why didn't that work? That's one of them. These are all my games. We're going to start with J-Raptors. I don't know. I like his battle group decisions, though. Hopefully he goes goofy with this. Alright. Okay, let's try this again. Alright. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Sorry I'm having a rough go of it here. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is FancyJosh, and today I've got a game for you between J-Raptor as our US, and his opponent today is going to be Rant's Quest as our Wehrmacht. Map today is going to be Tuscan Vineyards, and this is on the Topaz Rhino patch. So, looking forward to seeing what these players have in store for us. There's been a lot of discussion about the state of the game. I think a lot of folks are kind of frustrated with the performance of Axis in team games. I've been having a lot of fun on this patch, but I know it can be frustrating when things that you like about the game change. I was planning to do a little bit of a video about a patch, but I didn't have time this week, unfortunately. I interviewed a couple folks just to get their thoughts on where things were at, and it's just not going to happen. So, that said, I think there's one big change that I really liked about the team games, which is they added a fuel cost to the 259s, because it was super obnoxious to deal with 259 spam in team games. But that said, that change is going to be very frustrating for some folks. Pretty standard build orders for both of our players here. J-Raptor, of course, did open up with special operations, so he's going to have this early Weasel to help with that capturing power. And Rant's, of course, opening with double Pioneer into double Grenadier. So, pretty standard all around. We're going to see another Grenadier and potentially have a machine gun after that. So it's going to be Rifleman from J-Raptor. And the 30 cal on this Weasel going to help him defend his territory a bit. Grenadier-Pioneer combo should win this fight, but not going to force the issue, just going to capture away some territory. Yeah, looks like a mine there. That's nice. Rant's Quest trying to get down a mine to potentially catch his opponent.
A fuel point is being seized by the enemy.
And we're going to see our first fight of the game here. Wehrmacht fighting with these engineers and riflemen here. And I think that this is the right way to play Wehrmacht these days. You want to keep all your units, well, not all your units, you want to hold hands. J-Raptor taught me this. You want to hold hands with your units because they are pretty weak otherwise. To potentially do some reinforced shenanigans. That Grenadier kind of in trouble. Is going to make it out. That was a bizarre retreat path. But it's actually going to work out for him, I think. And those Pioneers also have to get out of the area. Interestingly enough, Grant's just kind of peeling off one unit at a time. And I think it's so he can capture that point there, but Grenadier's going to have to give it up. His Pioneers need to be very careful. And are going to get out of there. Pioneers on the bottom side grabbing some territory. Scouts doing the same.
Give him an answer, boys. Order completed. We've lost the territory sector.
So, yeah. And there's the follow-up from Rand's quest. Going to get that infantry officer quarters. Vet 1 across all his units. You know, I'm not 100% sure why this is the meta. I think there's actually a number of reasons. I mean, the faster experience game can be really big in vetting up your units quickly. I also think that it can result, if you want to do some transition orders, it's not the right word, transfer orders, there we go. You want to do transfer orders on your Grenadiers to upgrade them. They come in at that higher veterancy. I'd love to hear other reasons you can think of why this is so popular, but look at our Grenadiers holding hands once again. Weasel Rifleman going to collapse here on the middle, but should strongly favor these Grenadiers here in that heavy cover there. Yeah, US player can't push in there without taking some heavy losses. Love the barbed wire in front of the sandbags there. Grenadiers just keep continuing to hold hands. Oh, okay, another Grenadier here. I was going to say, I haven't cast Rand's quest before, but pretty high elo. I'm surprised I haven't seen him before. Air Support Center for J-Raptor. Alright, so Air Support Center, I know was bugged. Well, folks were saying it was bugged. It was giving 5 munitions. So the patch was, gives 5 munitions to the player that builds it. But in team games, it was giving 5 munitions to everyone. So I don't know if that was the intention or not. I don't know if that's still the case after the hotfix. We shall see. But I am very excited about the Air Support Center in general. I think with the changes to AA, it's significantly more viable. The munitions is nice, but really I think the big change is that at a high level, well, at all levels, players are going to have to prioritize anti-air in order to shoot down those planes. Grenadiers on a kind of a bad retreat path, but holy blob, Batman. These Grenadiers absolutely going to shred these riflemen. Weasel trying to help out, but is going to give it up here. And man, that Grenadier blob is something to be forced to be reckoned with. And interestingly enough, he's continuing to stay grouped up even after he wins a fight. I would kind of expect him to spread out and grab territory, but feeling like that's not necessary here. Just going to decapture, not trying to hold territory in his opponent's space that probably won't be able to hold for very long. And J-Raptor moving out here in a big way. Has added on a heavy machine gun through that weapons support center. We're going to see half tracks after that. This is reminding me of that most recent game I just cast between Top 3 Control and who was it? Alex Stan. This game, of course, different with the Air Support Center. And it's going to be an AA upgrade here. Quad mount for this half track. Grenadier's just going to bail on out of there after denying this territory for just a little bit. This Pioneers continuing to be active way out in the wings, as they should. And it's going to be a flak for our Wehrmacht player. So Air Support Center going up against this flak. Now, I cast a game, I don't know, probably a month or two ago at this point, where our player went air support center into flak, and eventually this flak was able to shut down the air support. But with the changes, I'm wondering if that's still going to be the case. I am very much looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Map blinking all sorts of blue here as J-Raptor grabs some territory on that top side. Heavy machine gun shadowing these riflemen. Mine on this bottom side going to pick up some engineers. And Scout's going to give it up there, pop and smoke. Love that smoke, going to cover this Weasel as it captures. Not that he necessarily needs it in this specific instance, but it's a cool idea. Here comes the Flak 30. Going to push back this A half-track. Yep, and should get out of there no problem. Heavy machine gun barely out of range there, but the Flak just going to reposition ever so slightly and be able to get range here. Weasel grabbing some territory. But a very even game so far. And I'm sure you all noticed that the victory points started out at 575 instead of 500.
We're losing a fuel point.
Effectively, it can increase the game by as much as 10% longer, but it can be as high as 30% longer. I'm doing math on stream here, but you know, if every single point was consumed, makes the games longer. I haven't really... I mean, I've noticed it. I haven't felt it. I guess I did play a 2v2 the other day that it mattered. I ended up winning a game with 63 points left, so it can matter. I'm surprised they didn't change the tick rate. It's probably complicated from a programming standpoint to change the tick rate, whereas they can just play with the victory point numbers extremely easily.
Reports of enemy movement near our victory point.
And it's definitely less dramatic of a change, so... Weapon support elements, I should say, being picked up from Rant's quest here, so we're going to see a Verbal Wind. I'd be surprised if we saw anything else. And of course, we do see those commandos from J-Raptor. Now, folks don't take these SSF commandos because they have hidden demo charges, but they do have hidden demo charges, which also saw a change this patch. I don't think that affects anybody but me. And I was talking about it with Elvadi, and I was speculating on why they made that change. And my conclusion anyway is that that demo charge change is not for high-level players. It is to balance. It is to make sure that the game is fun for players. This rifleman in trouble, going down there, getting trapped by that hedgerow. So what I'm trying to say here is that demo charges are not a fun mechanic for those receiving the demo charge, and there is almost no counterplay other than sweepers, which we're not going to get into detection today, but yeah, I mean, now it's effectively a grenade with a 3.5-second fuse, and we're going to see how that plays out in some of these games. Long story short, SSF can plant them. We're not going to see that here. Verbal Wind running into these commandos, stealthed up in these in this hedgerow here. Able to get some good damage. And J-Raptor grabbing improved bazookas. He's managed to deny his opponent's fuel, but as I say that, these Pioneers continuing to be as annoying as possible. Verbal Wind going to shut that down, though. Yeah, just going to be a big brawl over this fuel. Man, I love those Pioneers. This is something that I need to improve in my own games, is actively sending my scouting units or my capturing units into the wings of the map and just grabbing territory, being annoying as possible, constantly denying territory. That's exactly the way to do it. Alright, so Rant's quest has picked up the Terror Battle Group. And I mean, is he planning for a Tiger here? Kind of feels like it. So other than one big call-in, I think we've only seen J-Raptor use this barrage one time, or his support center one time. But of course, he's getting those extra munitions, and I say that he's floating 250 here. So what I'm trying to say is that the 5 munitions from that hasn't really played a major role just yet. Mano's going to win this fight over here. Not going to grab that territory. Engineer's going to do it for him. You see a second half-track added on. Is it upgrading? It is. Going to be the 75mm. And another barrage here. And nice bombing run going to come down on this AA. And is going to get him, but from the looks of it. Nice. Is going to take him out. Are those riflemen going to get this? Tell me they get it. Aren't really any units nearby. Grenadiers trying to help. And it looks like he doesn't really want to aggressively steal it. Just going to try and delay here. Verbal wind on the side, though. In a good position. 75mm ready for it, though. And those Grenadiers were thinking about it, but not going to happen. This is a big old brawl here. Big arc. We see the propaganda being used here by RanceQuest. That defend the fatherland? I think it is. Verbal wind continuing to pick away here. 75mm not firing back. Mano's going to win their fight. And there's just so much happening, I can't capture it all. Engineers on top of these Grenadiers that are suppressed, and they're going to die unless they get out of there right now. Holy cow, how are these Grenadiers still alive? Verbal wind getting on top of the riflemen, going to take them out. Is there another fight I'm not seeing happening? Oh my god, Engineer's going to go down. Not going to finish him off. 75mm not able to finish the Verbal wind. Pioneer's going to get on the flak. Holy cow, what a fight that was. You know, and I was talking, talking smack there, and J-Raptor's like, okay, I'll use all 3 abilities from that call-in. Did manage to clear this out, but that's units going down on both sides there. Verbal wind just trying to defend this flak from the looks of it, but gonna tank some damage from that 75mm. And alrighty. We got a game on our hands. You guys know it. I love it when players drop units. I think it makes for interesting games. Now, I don't think RanceQuest actually lost any of his Grenadiers. Still has 4 of them. Which I can't believe it. It must have been that Defend the Fatherland, giving him some crazy defense there. Pioneers barely going to escape. 75mm setting up on the Verbal one. One more shot is going to pick him up. And Grenadiers were trying to get aggressive there on the side, but not going to happen. And both players just going to brawl it out in the middle. I don't think I've seen a game like this where both players just absolutely slam into each other in the middle like that. A lot of times you'll see players getting out into the wings. And, oh man, grenade. Going to absolutely wreck those commandos. Weasel in a bad spot now, too. So, this Weasel must have the upgrade to get additional income from his points. Because that fuel was granting 13 fuel instead of 10. That's from the Weasel. Second Verbal Wind tanking some damage here. 75mm is going to take out the Black 30 there. Grenadiers trying to get something done here. Already Veteran C3. And just going to finish their capture from the looks of it. Black going to let that happen. And fuel looking really good here for RanceQuest. Let's take a quick look at total income here. Pretty even. J-Raptor only a little bit behind, but he has used the fuel to do what he needs to do so far, so he's not overly concerned about controlling these points. He's just concerned about denying them to his opponent, in my opinion, at least at this stage. But RanceQuest does have a pretty good fuel bank here. I wonder if we're going to see him stall for King Tiger. I mean, that used to be the play. So something else they changed this patch was they give you a bigger discount for on heavy tanks when building the tier 4. So we may see him go up to tier 4. Hasn't done so yet, of course. But if he gets that King Tiger, I wonder if he's going to do that. If he's going to build tier 4 or if he's just going to hard build the King Tiger. Assuming we get that far. And that Grasshopper, that's the scout plane, is called in. Gonna strafing run here. Is there a bombing run happening? Yes, he was trying to pick up the Verbal Wind. And it's funny, every time he uses that ability, he uses all 3. And double sortie coming out. Okay. You know, I've been talking about the fuel control, and I've been just completely ignoring the victory point situation. J-Raptor in a really, really good position here. Got his opponent down to 150 points, basically.
Now under enemy control.
Grenadier's going to grab this bottom point, and looks like J-Raptor is going to respond to that. Grenadier's hanging out. And a little bit of quiet here as Rance Quest looks like he's consolidating his forces, potentially. He really needs to get up on that top point. Only 150 points left here. Verbal Wind nearly completed. So I think he built a Martyr, canceled it,
Commander,
built it again,
lost the sector.
canceled it again, and now he's on a Verbal Wind. I'm not 100% sure, but it's taken him a while to make decisions here. And J-Raptor's holding down the middle. Interesting mine placement, wanting to avoid a dive on his... I mean, his whole plan here is to hold down this center. So a mine preventing a flank is a good way to do that. Pioneer's kind of in a bad spot, forcing these commandos to come out to him, though. But those Pioneers can't stay for long. Grenadiers poking into the middle, but only going to find bad news. Grenadiers holding hands here. Verbal Wind's also holding hands. And might see a big sweeping motion here. You tell me this mine's going to matter? Maybe. 75 millimeters rotating. Verbal Wind's going to absolutely shred those commandos, but instantly backing away as the 75 millimeters move into position. And it looks like these commandos are going to finish or win that fight, but not going to be able to hold the space. Grenadiers moving up to that top side. Really needs to get on that point. 119 points to go here. And, oh man, this mine, a little bit scary. Verbal Wind's diving. Gonna hit the mine. Is he gonna hit both? Oh man, easily could have hit both there. Martyr also helping out. Half-track's going down, focusing the 75 millimeters. Commando's gonna save the day? Maybe? Oh, gonna trade a Verbal Wind for a half-track. I think ultimately that's gonna favor our German player there, as long as he doesn't lose this Martyr. Should be able to get out of there. I can't believe that mine didn't play a bigger role here. Martyr in a really bad spot. I think this Verbal Wind might also be dead. Martyr, run! Is barely going to escape there. Scout going down. Grenadiers rotating over. Verbal Wind is going to go down there. But look at J-Raptor's army, man.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
And Rance Quest still has the backbone of his army here. And the problem for J-Raptor now is manpower. Oh no, Grenadiers are going to go down. Wow, what a freaking bloodbath. Defend the Fatherland used again here. And while that was happening, the tick was on. Rance Quest has continued to lose victory points, but I think with these army compositions, Rance Quest is in a good spot to hold 2 of the victory points. I say as these Grenadiers get absolutely destroyed. And here's our, what? Is that our 3rd Verbal Wind? 4th? I think it's our 4th. Yeah.
Be advised.
Wow.
Air resupply operations are available.
So, okay, I need to read about Defend the Fatherland, because it has been... I don't see people use this ability very often. Let's see. take less damage
We have 75
for each
points
missing
remaining.
squad member. So that's how that grenadier with one model left lived. Because for each missing squad member,
We have territory out of
he had the
supply.
maximum 75% damage reduction and 50% accuracy. So, I mean, he was basically taking no damage. Because he was pinned as well. 75mm added back on here. Gonna do pretty... you can take some damage from that 75mm as these grenadiers move in. Heavy machine gun in a perfect position. There is a grenadier on the flank. Verbal Wind just trying to hold those engineers off the fuel. Now, J-Raptor has teched up to... He does have access to the Whiz-Bang. Has not added on a tank depot yet. Martyr getting some shots in. Just checking if he's got a tank depot. He does not. And Grenadiers... Oh my god, Martyr from downtown. Gonna take out that 75mm there. Now this Verbal Wind is basically uncontested. This is a little bit... this is scary from Rance here because he doesn't actually know that there's not another 75mm in the Fog of War. Or the Commandos with bazookas, for that matter. I love this plane here just, like, repairing in combat here. Grenadier's gonna triple cap here, so J-Raptor's gonna have to respond. Nice little strafing run there. He's gonna get that suppression. And that's the double sortie, nearly killing those units. Excuse me. And J-Raptor trying to do a lot with a little here. 75mm is added back on. The Smarter could poke its head out. And is going to do it. Going to trade some damage here. Oh, attack ground not going to connect. Verbal Wind providing vision. And that's a dead 75mm. Nice pickup there by the Verbal Wind. And a very red map here. Might be able to trade him back. Oh, didn't quite fire. Barely not going to fire that round there. But both players are beat to hell here. Commando's just going to trade some damage with this Verbal Wind. 75mm upgrade just going to finish. Pioneer's trying to repair. I don't think he should sit here. He's going to back away. Oh my god, I can't believe they just lived. Did he miss? Maybe he repaired just enough to stay alive. This Martyr in a bad spot. Might go down. Is going to go down, surely. Mando's got him. Yep. Verbal Wind coming back in to try to save the day, but now this guy's in trouble. No way. No way. That was a little bit of an anticlimactic ending there. Oh, I'm a little surprised he surrendered. You know, Rance Quest didn't have the vision that we had. I think both players were, like, basically in a terrible spot, which made them even. J-Raptor's advantage was those commandos, I think. And I don't know. I don't know about that early surrender, but I hope you guys enjoyed this short and sweet game, and I will see you in the next video. Uh-oh. Hopefully I was recording that whole time. Otherwise, it's just going to be for you guys on Twitch. Oh, no, dude. I wasn't recording. Oh, well. That sucks. Hey, Booty Quake. Oh, true, J-Raptor, true. Yeah, he did lose quite a bit there. It's going to be tough to hold on. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, J-Raptor, that one's not going on YouTube. I changed my hotkeys because of this little subscribe thing. And it's been throwing me off. And while streaming, it's like one extra layer. And my hotkey for my camera is working. Hooray. You know, I've wondered about doing my face on the videos, but I don't really want to take away from the games, so... Alright, let's do a cast here of... I want to cast Sapphire. Which... got nuked. Oh, here it is. Zens. It's on Tuscan again. Maybe for the best. I thought it was a fine game. I mean, you know, I love the scrappy games, but you know me, I have to keep my YouTube viewers happy, you know, and they like the intense 50-minute, you know, has to be a climactic ending, no BM. Oh, speaking of which, I feel so bad. So Top 3 Control was like, he said like noob at the end of his game or something. And turns out that he had played 3 games in a row against Alex Stan, and Alex Stan had BM'd him the game before. So I was like, you know, oh, a little bit of BM there, and it you know, it just goes to show you don't know what's happening on the ladder. Is it still in your J-Raptors? It's still in your replay sets potentially. Just look at your co-stats here. Yeah, sorry I couldn't get to the replays you sent me the other week too. In the week anymore. Like, I go from work, and then I go pick up my daughter from daycare, and then I watch her for a couple hours till my wife gets home. And by that time, it's like 8 o'clock, and I want to go to bed. Because I'm up at like 4 the next morning. Like, at the latest, so... Alright, let's see. I mean, I see a game... You got a bunch of games with him. I see. You guys have been playing together. Oh, it's longer than 10 games ago. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to your games either, Bambone. It's, like I said, it's just been tough. All right. I'm gonna check. Whoa. That was cool. Alright, let's see if I can remember to, like, you know, press record. Not that I forgot, I think I hit the wrong key and thought I was recording. Before I start, what are you guys thinking of the, what do you guys think of Ironclad? That's hilarious, Bambone. You have the link to Dexon insulting you. You know, I mean, let me put it this way. I think a lot of players get a little bit salty about this game sometimes. And the salt is misplaced. But whatever. I guess that's all video games. What did I do, CB? Oh. At Bambone. Yeah, fair enough, J-Raptor. I think they're just starting out, and they might be open to feedback. We'll see. But, you know, they've been really nice to me. I think they are really professional in their communications. and they're kind of just getting their feet into the scene. I want to know who it is. I want to know who it is. We'll see. All right, let's cast this game. And I'm going to press the right keys in the right order. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is FancyJosh, and today I've got a game for you between Sapphire as our Wehrmacht, and his opponent today is going to be Lizenz as our US. Map today is going to be Tuscan Vineyard. Been loving this map. Been casting a lot of games on it recently. I think I've cast 3 in a row. One of them isn't going to make it onto YouTube because of an error by me. But that's okay. Hopefully you guys aren't sick of seeing games on this map. I think it has a lot to offer. Sapphire opening with a Kettenkrad here. Going to let him capture all this territory on the top side really quickly. Potentially at the expense of fighting power in the mid and late game. But of course, I think on this map, the Kettenkrad can be pretty darn good in terms of providing vision, long-range vision through the middle, especially if you've got indirect fire. See how he wants to combo that into his build. Grenadiers following up. You see a double scout opening for Lizenz. This is pretty uncommon these days. I feel like I don't see players do it very often. But it is going to be a lot of capturing power in this early game. Again, both players are going to be able to get this rather resource-dense side. I mean, you got 4 points all right next to each other that take a while to capture. And with scouts or a Kettenkrad going to be able to do that. Sapphire going to get bullied off of this point, probably. Oh, it looks like he's just holding it. Potentially denying that capture. Grenadiers and Riflemen going to find each other in the middle here. This Rifleman ought to be able to win this fight against a solo Grenadier, especially at close range. But Grenadier's just going to try and hold the point, slow the push there a little bit. So the reason I am casting this game is I played against Sapphire in the Ironclad tournament this past month. It was in the lower bracket, and he completely dominated me and all the other players he ran into during that tournament. And a big shout out to those of you that participated. There is another one going on this month, starting... I think signups for the 1v1s are already open. I believe they also are going to be hosting a 4v4 tournament, which should be hilarious, given the current win rates we're seeing from some factions. But without getting too far into that, I think it's just a fun idea, and I don't care if it's balanced or not. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to participate in. Long story short, go sign up for Ironclad. I'm going to be casting some of the 1v1 games over the course of this month as well, so be on the lookout for that. And Sapphire complaining about, what's he saying? Oops. Sapphire saying thinks rifles are nerfed. Oh, no. He thinks they're strong. I would agree with him. I would agree with him. But that's okay. Scout's going to have this fuel. Looks like it's going to be pretty strong fuel control here for Lizenz. Grenadiers holding hands here, allowing him to potentially win some of these fights, but with Riflemen holding hands gets a little bit trickier. Kettenkrad repaired up, just going to grab some territory. You see 3 Grenadiers on this bottom side. And Riflemen are going to get on top of this point, but I think the Grenadiers are going to make it on time to stop that from happening. Pioneers being forced off the heavy cover. But German player is going to maintain control of his cutoff point. And Kettenkrad is going to grab that fuel and drive back all these Riflemen. Scouts doing their thing on the wings, though. Just continuing to grab up territory. Mechanized support here on the way for Lizenz, and right on time, Luftwaffe company on the way as well. So Verbal Wind has been pretty popular in my experience this patch, as well as the games that I've spectated. Scout's gonna help win this fight at long range. Grenade forcing those riflemen out of cover. Grenadiers need to get out of there. And are gonna make it out, but these I love both players trying to grab each other's cutoff points, but just preventing each other from doing so. Grenadiers finishing that capture on the victory point. And just kind of a slow brawl here in the middle. See that Kettenkrad on the bottom side doing work. Riflemen gonna have to get out of here. Grenadiers also have to leave. And on a bad retreat path there. Yep, continuing to comment on the state of the unit. So I don't know. More research required. I feel like Grenadiers are in the same place that they were, but I feel like there are going to be players that disagree with me. So I'd be curious on your thoughts. And these Rangers picked up here for Lizens. I have not seen the advanced infantry battle group in 1v1s in quite some time. I don't know. They must have changed. So I don't see Rangers in high level. No, excuse me. I don't see them in team games as much as I did. I don't know what they did to the unit, if anything. They're just way less popular, it feels like. Scout car added on here. Going to force back these riflemen. Lizens doesn't really have an answer to this. He's been... Yeah, no grenades. So, going to get up to this motor pool. And he has dropped in some weapons for his Rangers. But... Can't tell if he has a bazooka. I know that you guys watching this can tell if he has a bazooka. But I can't, because it's hiding off the bottom of the screen there. I think he has two LMGs. Excuse me, a bar and an LMG. And Grenadier squad, with the help of the scout car, going to force back those Rangers. And an extremely blue map here, just because of this Ketten. I mean, he has grabbed so much freaking territory. So, you know, more commentary on the Ironclad tournaments. So I did opposition research on every single one of my matchups. So every player that I went up against in the tournament, I spectated their games. And one thing I observed from Sapphire, and we're not really seeing it this game, but he is extremely aggressive. Like, if he senses blood in the water, he's going to get in your face fast. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, where he's like hard controlling this left side. My observation that he was a little bit vulnerable to deep mines because he'll dive with his vehicles. And so I tried to exploit that, and his timings were so crisp that I just got absolutely run over. Where I'm going with this is, you know, if you're going to participate in tournaments, I highly recommend you spectate some of your opponent's games going into it. You will see things that your opponent doesn't even know about themselves. So I highly recommend it. The other thing I noticed is that every player I went up against in this tournament had a really weird camera angle. So Sapphire points his camera at the enemy, and he also has this high top level. So this is his camera angle. He's kind of like top down, and he faces it towards the enemy. Some other players had some different camera angles. Anyway, cool story. A lot of people don't know that feature's there, that you can see your players' camera angles. So this 8-rad, Greyhound added on here, going to do work for our US player. We might see Sapphire upgrade for the anti-tank option here, but has added on a Jaeger while I was yapping. I'm going to see an AT gun here for Lizens. I think this is a decent map for it. You got this nice little wide arc here. You know, you can sit right on the road and cover kind of this area and this area here. Kettenkrad being extremely active this whole game. I'd love to see Lazenz put down some mines, but of course he doesn't have any engineers for that. No, and I want to say that the Greyhound, in a previous iteration of Company of Heroes, like, I think it might have been Company of Heroes 2, could plant mines. And that'd be really strong here. But alas, that is a totally different game. So Shrek's picked up on one of these Jaegers. Sapphire continuing to move a lot of his units in a single area. And just force away this Greyhound. Here comes the AT gun. Scout car being screened off by some infantry. I love this Greyhound just kind of sitting at maximum range, poking away. Rifleman not standing in cover, going to get shredded there. Thought I heard another fight going on, but I'm not sure where it's happening. Maybe down here. Yep, scouts going to be forced off. Those reconnaissance package Jaegers are no joke. And AT gun setting up here in the middle. Greyhound moving in. This Greyhound doesn't have any upgrades. He's just picking up the armored skirts now. Typically, you'll see folks just instantly add on that 30 cal. But not this game. Greyhound getting aggressive there. Risky business. Probably did have vision of these Shreks. So, able to back away safely. These guys have any more weapons? They do, but I still can't see what they are. I don't see a bazooka in the squad, so I'm going to assume it's all LMGs. Greyhound going to eat a shot here before backing away. You know, I'm surprised Lazenz went for the Mechanized Support Center if he's going to go Rangers. And typically when you see one Ranger, you're going to see a whole bunch of Rangers. But maybe not this game. He's going for bar rifles here. And AT gun from a million miles away. And of course that scout car back. Greyhound on the wings. This is a perfect fight for the scout car. These Jaegers can do exactly nothing here. And is going to force them back. Bet one. Yeah, one of my complaints about the this tournament view is you cannot tell what upgrade they take. And it looks like he's going to take the decapture. So, yeah, my question is answered. I love the canister shot, which is basically like a shotgun, and it absolutely deletes infantry at point-blank range. But it is a very high-risk, high-rewards thing to use, and this decapture is much better for your health long-term. Literally 0 victory points controlled here. This is a very smart mine from Sapphire. It's going to punish if that Greyhound wants to dive again. Might even try and bait it out. Grenadiers grabbing this fuel. Scouts are paying the favor, so the income should remain even. And I'm very curious, actually. Oh, the scout car are going to get aggressive on these riflemen. The Greyhound is in the area, though. This is what I mean, though, when I say Sapphire's an aggressive player. He senses blood in the water, and he instantly dives. Greyhound going to eat a Shrek. It's going to eat a Faust. Shrek's in the area. Should be able to escape, though, just with the crew shock. So no big deal there. Rangers and riflemen covering for this AT gun. He's going to force back those grenadiers. And nicely done. Alright, I want to take a quick look at resources here. 250, 250, so very, very even on fuel. Very, very even. Got the Ranger weapon training. Victor for Lazenz. And here's hoping we see artillery. They did buff artillery, generally speaking, this patch. The fixed position artillery, that is. I don't know specifically what they did to the infantry, advanced infantry battle group. Oh, man. Gonna eat a Faust there. AT gun is ready for it, though. And now it does have that engine damage, so gonna have to crawl away here. Scouts continuing to grab territory. Pioneers are paying him back. And these Grenadiers continuing to just support these Jaegers. I suspect we'll see him reinforced. Not going to happen. But that can be, you know, if you're hanging out, if your Grenadiers are hanging out with with elite infantry, then definitely be using that reinforceability. Scouts were trying to grab this cutoff point, but Grenadiers going to put a stop to that. Scouts car having some trouble pathing. Greyhound just continuing to be aggressive. I love this repair point. It's kind of a little far back. It'll never get taken. Well, probably never get taken. But it is a little far out of the way, so... And man, that Greyhound just decapturing. It's just going to run all over this space up here and decapture territory. A little surprised he didn't go for the victory point, choosing to go for the fuel instead. And you know, I say that, but this patch, they increased the victory point counts, so it's 575 now, and both players have a ton of victory points to work with, so denying that fuel clearly more important to our US player. And quick check on these guys. Not seeing a bazooka in there, but you guys might see one that I can't see because of the way I'm recording. AT gun in the area, though. And Sapphire frustrated with the infantry. Jaeger's getting a good connection on the Greyhound, but is going to get forced back here a little bit. Okay, I have to say it now. I do not want my comments section being annoyed with players that are chatting. Nobody's been disrespectful. Oh man, Kettenkrad finally going down there. Nobody's been disrespectful. But I don't... So I am picking random games off the ladder, you know, and if I picked one of my games or one of your games off the ladder and you just happen to say something salty, you know, I put a spotlight on players that don't normally have spotlights on them. And it is unfair to judge people by one game, one chat. You know, for example, top 3 controls game that I cast last week. That was a best of 3 series on the ladder. It wasn't literally a best of 3. Those players had played 3 games. There had been smack talk in previous games, and top 3 control was paying back the favor. So, long story short, you're going to see folks get salty in my games. You're going to see folks say stuff maybe they shouldn't say. And I don't think we should judge them too harshly. Because, again, it's a ladder. These people are playing for fun. And they don't know that we're going to watch them. So, yeah. Off my soapbox, Linen's continuing to have good control here. We did see him deny that cutoff point and fuel for a while. Added on a mortar, interestingly enough. I wonder what that mortar is for. I mean, it's going to have the utility of the smoke. He's actually... His opponent is building a heavy machine gun into the mortar. And, I mean, it did get a good connection on this Grenadier. Barraging somewhere. Maybe? Guess not. And we do see these artillery observer squads picked up here for Lazen's. Don't think he's built any of the points. That's clearly not his strategy this game. Does have the howitzer emplacements. I'd be very surprised if we saw a howitzer emplacement, but I can hope. And here comes the Panzer IV here for Sapphire. Lazen's kind of a ways off of his tanks. But if he manages to control the field that he's controlling now, he should be in a good position. But this Panzer IV is going to run the table. Does Lazen's even have grenades? He doesn't. He doesn't have snares. So this is going to be really, really scary. This Panzer IV is going to hit a nasty timing where he can just jump on whatever he wants to jump on, and the only real threat to him is that AT gun, which is in a decent position, but that's a dead Greyhound, probably. And Sapphire not going to dive, so not a dead Greyhound. Rifleman holding it down here.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
And yeah, very red map. Very, very red map. Zen's really... I mean, this is a knife's edge here. He basically has nothing, and this AT gun's going to go down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No snares. No AT gun. Oh, man. In deep trouble. So he needs to survive a few minutes here to get a tank out. And as long as Sapphire doesn't totally run him over by, say, grabbing this cutoff point, he should be okay. Smoke to try and save that AT gun, but a little too late there. Scout car out on the side. And yeah, Sapphire in a commanding position here. And Greyhound poking its nose out again, not a place he wants to be. And gonna die to his own AT gun. Yep. Re-adding the AT gun, definitely a good call. Those artillery observers finding that mine that was placed there ages ago. Mortar has to run as well, putting down one of these observation points, but these grenadiers are instantly going to find it. And 75mm was added on here, getting some good connections, but I don't think he's going to catch that Panzer IV. And does have to be careful of his own AT gun. Cutoff is going to happen. And Lazen's not able to pick up the scout car either. Should get this fuel point. Well, I say that. Doesn't really have units coming.
Command points must be assigned.
Alright, so Lazen's about 1 minute away from a tank here. 1.5 minutes. Panzer IV is going to take about that long to get repaired back up. And victory point's still looking good here. Sapphire is down to 250. But should be okay with that. AT gun on the way to the front. And I suspect... Oh, what happened there? Was that the mortar barrage? Oh my god, I'm sad I missed that. Sorry, guys. The AT gun was there, though. So... I can't believe... This thing is still there. Oh my god. Okay. So theoretically, with this patch, these should be even easier to find with any sort of detection. Pioneers need to get their minesweepers in order to get their detection. But if they... Yeah, he doesn't have any minesweepers, so... Doesn't know that that's there necessarily. And despite this Panzer IV, it's still a very red map here. Sapphire kind of just ignoring that top side. Just focused on his, his natural fuel, the one that's potentially easier to defend. There's another radio beacon going down, artillery beacon. Where is that happening? Right here. I like this one a lot more. Wouldn't mind to see that further forward, but maybe can't place it there. And Panzer IV just going to drive some units off the side here. Grenadiers grouped up. And an AT gun just hanging out in the middle, so a little bit of quiet here. Again, Sapphire just trying to control his natural side. He's not super concerned with that top side, but does need to act quickly because doesn't control any of the victory points here. And that bleed is still fast. Mortar managing to spot those fixed weapons there. 75mm getting some good hits in combination with the AT gun. Artillery barrage coming down here. Just being super obnoxious. And I'm loving all this indirect fire from Lazen's. Who needs heavy artillery when you can just have lighter artillery? Even has a 75mm helping with the barrage. And moving in with some infantry off the back of that barrage. Going to force back the AT gun. Should be able to bring up his... I'm surprised he didn't bring up his units there, but saw that collapse coming in and decided to get the heck out of Dodge. And more barrages coming down. I love these grenadiers off on the flank. Are going to find this artillery radio beacon here and destroy it. And what a big push here. Lazen's able to move in a big way. 75 millimeter. That's not a spot you want to be, man. Is going to back off. And Bulldozer almost on the field. So this Bulldozer has the potential to do some really big things here for our US player. It's going to be able to tank that Panzer IV. It's going to be able to deal with these groups of infantry. It's going to tank up the Shreks, no problem. And do a whole lot for him. Here, Bulldozer has arrived. Force back these Grenadiers. 75 millimeter ready for this Panzer IV to rotate over. Where's that AT gun? Still in base. Does he have grenades yet? Probably not. Yeah, he doesn't have it yet. 75 millimeter duking it out with that Panzer IV. Bulldozer going to force all these infantry back. AT gun trying to set up, but there's a second Panzer IV on the field here. And Bulldozer just chasing everything down. Should be able to get on top of the heavy machine gun, which is going to retreat there. And just like that, techs have evened. Panzer IV going to dive on this Bulldozer. AT support is moving in. Panzer IV missing all of its freaking shots. AT gun still not quite in the right position, but Bulldozer isn't going to be chased down here. Sapphire having to respect his opponent there. Can't dive too far into the fog of war. And Lazen's continuing to do a good job focusing the victory points.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Sapphire continuing to bleed, or will be here shortly.
A Tiger heavy panzer is ours to deploy.
So, looks like Sapphire, pretty pick up there. Did get the Tiger. I don't think we're going to see a Tiger this game. I mean, if this game goes another 10 minutes, we will. Potentially, anyway. Riflemen getting into that heavy cover of the scout car, only to have it evaporated from under their feet. And Lazen's adding it back on this artillery radio beacon to barrage his opponent off the middle here. In combination with that mortar. Here comes the Bulldozer. And these Rangers are a force to be reckoned with. I kind of like the idea of just adding one. So you're not dealing with too much manpower bleed. 75 millimeter covering this Bulldozer. AT gun also in a good spot, but isn't really focusing fire on these tanks, but dealing enough damage to force them back. 75 millimeter barrage going to come down here on that heavy machine gun, trying to remove the suppression from those riflemen, and even a airburst barrage from the mortar. Oh my god, that does so much damage. Not able. Oh, is able to wipe the veteran C. Not a big deal. Well, it's not even a wipe because he just starts with a veteran C1, so I take it back. I like the Sapphire doing the right things with these tanks. Using their mobility to get where he's needed. And Lazen's just going to grab this victory point, man. Continuing to focus those down. 75 millimeter moving up. Panzer IVs are repaired back up. Bulldozer not quite repaired yet. Grenadiers going to prevent this capture from happening, but can't stand on it for long. And nicely done there by Lazen's. Going to have the double cap. Doesn't even need to finish this. Heavy machine gun. Going to be forced back by the airburst barrage. Oh my god, dude. You know, they increased the scatter of that recently. Oh no, Hellcat. On the scene here. Rangers here to help. Should be able to pick... Is he going to finish it? Is going to finish him. And that's really bad for Sapphire. Yeah, I did see, I think I know what he's referring to, where there were some pretty big misses by the Panzer Force. But, wow. Big infantry loss difference there. And you know what? I know what my comments are going to say right now, which is Allies OP, and you could be right. But I hope you guys enjoyed this game nonetheless, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh my god, I remembered to record that one. Let's go. Quick check. Yep, we did it. We remembered to record, boys. Yeah, J-Raptor, I had a lot of fun in the lower bracket of the Ironclad tournament. I met some nice people. Frankly, so, okay. First round, I dominated. Second round was it was very close. But I won pretty handily, and then I got absolutely destroyed in the finals. I think Sapphire is, I mean, he's like 1500 elo with some of the factions, or 1400. You know, and I don't mind him playing in the lower bracket, you know, as his first time. But I think he's got potential for the higher brackets. So, well, I probably shouldn't share personal information about people that I know, but long story short, Gaia trained Sapphire. Like, he got Sapphire into this game, so I also want to cast a Gaia game here. Wow. That was a good game. I like that one. Sapphire got a little salty, but what can you do? Pull up I want to cast a Gaia game. I'm gonna find one. If it would let me. Probably turn on my camera. We did it. Yep. The other thing about Sapphire is, I should have said it in the cast, but he plays a lot of, he primarily plays 2v2. Alright, I can't help it. I have to cast the Simwa game. Gotta cast the Simwa game. Everybody hates this map, and I don't care. I love it. I need to save the replay I just cast. Where'd it go? This one. Alright, and... Hey, are you not cooperating? Did it work? Huh, for whatever reason it's not letting me... Is this from, like, before pre-patch? Let's be down-patched. Why is it even letting me download it, though? It should show that it's corrupted. Yeah, it's from a week ago. Dead. Oh, these are all from a week ago. They're all dead. Okay, well, that explains it. Alright, should we try another 4v4 on the new map? I really want to cast a 4v4 today. It's not what I want to do. I'm over here autopiloting to play a game. Two. haven't cast a Zooface game in a while. And of course, there's nothing on the new map. One down here. It's not super highly rated. Maybe I should find a 1v1 on the new map, eh? Yeah, I should do that, actually. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'll let you guys watch. It's not super interesting. Oh. See if this is working. This doesn't always work. Like Tony Montana's active right now. I don't know how to tell if this is the new map. Let's just download it and see. Need this to be a little wider. It'll show me the length of the game. 14 minutes. 16. So 21 minute. What's the new map? Is this the new map? It is. We're watching it. Let's see. You don't see the appeal of this game other than 1v1? That's fair. I think this game has a lot to offer different people. You know what I mean? Like, so 1v1, you know, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of reasons that people want to and also don't want to play 1v1s. For example, 1v1s are definitely less forgiving. Like, you get wrecked and then, you get wrecked and the game's over. Like, and it feels like you lose a skirmish and it's over. I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but for me personally, 1v1s, and not just in this game, like back in playing StarCraft or even like playing chess, I get really frustrated when I lose. It's very frustrating to lose a 1v1 for me sometimes. So different flavors, right? I think also team games are. In a team game, I can play different strategies I can't play in 1v1s. Like, I love playing coastals just because I have so much fun from artillery. So it almost never works in 1v1s. And I still try it in 1v1s, but whatever. So, I think all I'm saying is I think we can all appreciate different aspects of this game. So, oh, ranked, yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. 2v2s can be super competitive. I'd love to see like a super high level team game. I would love to see one. Like, not just a ladder game. I want to see 2 teams of 4 that have practiced together. You would see some absolutely murderous strategies. What's the worst change from the latest patch in your opinion? For me personally, it's the demo charges. Because I'm a cheesy player. I'll admit it. So the fact that my opponent gets a warning, it's a 3.5 second warning. At the same time, I totally understand why they did it. I mean, it is not fun to have your squad wiped because of something you can't counterplay other than sweepers. I mean, it's basically a better mine. So, competitive wise, Yeah, I mean, I'd have to have the patch notes in front of me. Let me just pull them up really quick. I know I'm not even in the right record state, so it's a good thing that you asked this question, because I was about to record. Where is my browser? Please. Patch notes. Is that huge? Oh, you know what I don't like is the Toad weapon changes either. What it's gonna do, so I think that Toad weapons already struggled against artillery, and not being able to reposition them quickly is going to fundamentally change team games. Um, that said, we're gonna see more heavy tanks, so that I like. I think heavy tanks are cool. So, anyway, long-winded answer to your question. All right, well, let's cast this game. I'm sure. Okay, so before I get started, I don't know who else is streaming right now, but Dexon streams a lot, and you should check out his stream if you haven't already. He's also trying to grow his YouTube channel, so if you like his streams, you'll like his YouTube channel, and I highly recommend checking him out. And with that said, I'm about to steal content from him, so here we go. Let me fix my camera. This. And I think we're ready. And I press the right button to get this stream started. Alright, what is this guy's name? I gotta... Rucka Nagano? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. I need everyone to do me a favor and just have their name, be, like, readable to a person, an American that can't pronounce anything that's not English. Alright, here we go. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is FancyJosh, and today I've got a game for you between Rucka Nagano as our Wehrmacht, and his opponent today is going to be Not Mighty Dexy as our US. Now, this is the new map, and I really, really should have looked up how to pronounce it before this game started, but we're going to do it now. Eglaton? Don't quote me on that. I'm gonna remember to look it up after this. But yeah, this is the new map. So you got this you got a couple high value fuel points out in the middle here, reasonably exposed to your opponents. So we're definitely going to see some fighting over these fuels. Then you kind of got this weird munitions setup going on over here, where you got the high value munitions outside, a low value munitions, and you have to control both to get them. I really don't. I've played one game on this map since it came out, and I got absolutely destroyed. Granted, I was trying to learn how to play the U.S. Partisans battle group, so of course I was going to get destroyed. But this map, yeah, I'm really curious to see how it does in the map pool, if people like it, if we're going to see lots of bans. Right now it has a... If you look at the stats for games played, you'll see that this map and all of the new maps have a really high play rate, and that's just because they have a bias. So if you just queue up on the ladder is biased to giving you these maps. So, looking forward to see what we got here. These standard builds from both our players here. Got the double rifleman start for Dexy. And, of course, our Wehrmacht player is double pioneer into double grenadier. So, and a mortar. for Dexon. Interesting. Wonder if he's anticipating an early heavy machine gun. That's a very interesting decision. Looks like he's worried about this house, so potentially just wanting to remove his opponent from these buildings on the left side. Yeah, another cool feature of this map is that you've kind of got like an urban side and like a wide open side. And it's a very yin-yang type map. I think it's really cool. And more Grenadiers on the way here for a Wehrmacht player, and I don't think we're going to see a heavy machine gun because we are seeing this mortar. So, super early flamethrowers here on these Pioneers. Going to do wonders for him at point-blank range. This Rifleman going to have to bail out. And we should see our Wehrmacht player easily take this fuel. And potentially the fuel on the left side as well. Mortar trying its best to shell away. Those Grenadiers are going to hunt that mortar. Scouts slowing down the push. Luftwaffe company on the way. Infantry support center on the way for Dexon. Mortar going to grab this territory, but is going to take some fire from the Grenadiers while doing so. And man, that mortar doing big damage to those units in the building. Does need to get out of there, though. Pioneers on the flank. Riflemen getting a nice grenade on those... Or, excuse me, Grenadiers getting a nice grenade on the Riflemen as they entered the heavy cover. Wehrmacht player should win this fight. Nicely done. So, blue map here for a little bit. Fuel very much in the control of our Wehrmacht player. And, yeah. So, I'm hearing some mines go down. Awesome. Very cool mine spot. Good spot to remember. That's definitely going to get some infantry. And the captain using his ability to let those riflemen run real fast. Doesn't want these Grenadiers to finish the capture there. Light machine gun added on. And yeah, Pioneer's going to hop in the church. This captain's going to lose a couple models to this mine for sure. Oh my god, stopping just in time. Mortar helping out. And nice, that's exactly the type of unit you want to hit with a mine. Now, Dexon's suffering from what was a triple cap there. Well, I guess he didn't control this point here. But is suffering from our Wehrmacht player being very aggressive. Managing to control lots of territory here. Luftwaffe company was added on, so we're going to see the scout car coming out. And Dexon hasn't added on his next building just yet. But is going to need an answer to the scout car. No grenades researched yet. So no ability to snare. And we do see this breakthrough battle group research for our Wehrmacht player. The breakthrough ability still very good, letting you capture a lot of territory extremely quickly. Scout car on the scene. Mortar instantly retreating for fear of this scout car, and rightly so. You know, it's always amazing to me how fast high-level players respond to threats. I mean, that scout car was definitely going to be a threat to that mortar if he'd left him in position for any longer. So, and love these mines, dude. He's finding all these choke points for these mines. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I wonder if this player's done some research on this map, or if he's just played it a whole lot and kind of knows what to expect, but very clever placement. Scout car chasing these riflemen. Mortar instantly using smoke to cover their retreat. And Scout car are going to continue to chase. There are no snares. There are no snares here, but Scout car having to respect his opponent, and Dexon kind of bluffing grenades there a little bit. But a very blue map here. Dexon does control that fuel on that far left side, so it's not a total loss for him. We did see him add on the water pool So AT grenade gun should be on the way here, I would expect. Well, I say that. He does have enough fuel. Let's see what he ends up wanting to add on. Jaeger's up next here for a Wehrmacht player. Pioneer's going to escape. Scout car. Just going to force these riflemen away. But blue map continuing to blink blue. Pioneer's grabbing up that fuel, and Dexon kind of in a bad spot here. We're going to see support elements next, and that probably means verbal wind in the near future. Dexon blobbing up here. And I say blob, but really it's just a group of units that is going to let him capture a whole bunch of territory and guarantee that he wins these fights. That one scout car poking away at those units at long range. Greyhound up next. Smoke being used. Very cool. You know, I love it when high level, well, any player, but especially high level players uses smoke at a long, uses smoke in general. I think smoke is an underused ability at all levels of play, and covering your units off, you know, trapping your opponent with smoke. You can do all sorts of cool things with smoke, and we just don't see enough of it. Scout car going to get up on this mortar, though. Mortar seeing it, though. But Grenadiers holding it down on this right side. This cover right here is kind of difficult for players coming out of their base to deal with. Presumably there's another similar feature on this bottom side, which I'll show after this fight concludes. Greyhound does Dexon has picked up the armored battle group and taking the Vet 1. So this unit already upgraded. Does he have canister shot or decapture? Is he going to get him? Oh man, those hedgerows kind of saving the day. Attack round, not quite going to connect. And yeah, there is a similar feature over here. Heavy cover to block off the opponent. Jaegers grabbing this cutoff point. Denying those riflemen. And you know, I have not cast this Wehrmacht player before, but he is giving Dexon a run for his money, so I'm going to have to check out some more games from this player. And Scout Car going to get up on top of these Jaegers, drive them back. Verbal Wind nearly on the field. Scout Car is upgrading with the anti-tank package, so we're going to see a showdown here between this Greyhound and the Scout Car. Pioneers on the top side. Greyhound getting off the edge, and this Scout Car in a perfect position. That Greyhound could be in trouble. There are infantry kind of nearby. And Scout Car going to respect his opponent there. Verbal Wind going to drive back these riflemen, and the fuel control continuing to be dominant here for our Wehrmacht player. Grenadiers just holding it down on this top right side. Riflemen are going to win that fight from the looks of it. Verbal Wind going to be able to rotate over as well. And this US player going to have a hard time getting out of his base. We see assault engineers added on to repair up that Greyhound. But what a clinic here. You know, this looks a lot like the game I was describing at the beginning, where I got trapped in my base. I mean, this sandbag right here, it is very difficult to deal with. You have to go around it. If your opponent controls that space, I don't think pushing into it is the right call. Greyhound having to deal with this Scout Car. Attacking. I think he's attacking ground through this hedge. Maybe not. And that's going to be a dead Greyhound, surely. Nope. Oh yeah, Dexon absolutely getting stomped here. Rifleman just trying to grab up some munitions. And you know what, guys? I think I'm going to call this game a dud. So we're going to watch the rest of it. I've stopped the recording. We're going to watch the rest of it on fast speed. Because I can tell you right now where this game is going. There's no way Dexon recovers from this. I mean, the fuel income is just completely freaking dominant. We've got one AT gun on the way. But these verbal winds can just run the show here. That AT gun is it's going to dissuade the verbal winds, but it's not a kill threat. And this scout car can just chase this Greyhound around. Seeing a big move out here in the middle, but I don't know, J-Raptor. That's a good question. Is it? This Nico? I saw Khan on YouTube and marketing consultant. I don't know if you guys are still there. Sorry, I was in the middle of the cast, and I did see your comments, but I couldn't cast. To answer your question, I'm going to be... I have very little time to create content during the week, so my plan is to try and stream once a week, and during my streams I'll be recording YouTube videos, which I will then upload to YouTube, so... But yeah, verbal winds are going to go down to the double AT. I don't know, maybe I did call this game too early, but I wasn't enjoying it, so... Wasn't enjoying it. Yeah.
The enemy has claimed our territory for their own.
I mean, Dexton's managed to get back out on the map here. And I say that, and the Pioneers just come in and capture Luftwaffe officer quarters. He's got a Martyr. This Chaffee's on the way, but there's... Martyr's ready for it. I don't know. This is really... Dexton's in a really tough spot. He's basically going to be playing a zero fuel game. He's honestly playing a zero munitions game, too.
The enemy have taken our territory.
Double Chaffee. Gonna get this verbal wind. Nice. One of the Chaffees is gonna go down. Second Chaffee is also gonna go down. And, I mean, Dexton... The problem is Dexton can't afford that fuel. Yeah. 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 Unfortunate. Let's see. Alright, I'm sorry that I'm about to mispronounce your name here. Hello, Arto... Arto Fife? I'm sure I got that wrong. Welcome. Let me read your comment. I'm gonna move Twitch. I'm gonna move Twitch chat over here. Like, be on my screen in a way that's not painful for me. That's still painful to look at, so we're gonna try this instead. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Yo, let's see here. Hi, AOE4 player here, wondering if Co3 is worth picking up at this point since I heard launch was rough, looking to expand on multiplayer RTS. It's Art of Life. Oh my god, sorry. Bro, so I have poor vision and everything's a little bit too small for me. Okay, here's my feeling of Company of Heroes 3. I think it's in the best spot. Well, alright. It is in a good spot. The last patch just came out, and I think a lot of people are frustrated with it. And the recent win rates suggest that they may have overcompensated on some of their nerfs and buffs. What I'm trying to tell you is that I think it's worth getting because the developers are actively contributing to the game. We're getting regular DLC, we're getting regular patches, and sure, everybody's going to make mistakes and get things wrong in balance, but it is still a very fun game, and I don't know, it's very fun, and it's unlike any other RTS that I've ever played, right? The squad-based, the importance of keeping your units alive and retreating, veterancy, I don't know, there's nothing like it. Like, it's not like Age of Empires or Company of Heroes where you can afford to like, the whole point is you build the army and you trade it with your opponent. It's not like that. So yeah, it goes on sale pretty regularly. So, we'd love to have you in the community, I mean. So, watch for it to go on sale. Or or just pick it up at its full price if you want to support the developers. So it's up to you. If you were my friend and you were asking me this question, I would say get it. So, oh, well, there you go. It's on sale already. Sawcon on YouTube asking, what are your thoughts on the Goliath unit? I think at a high level, it's pretty much a meme. You know, you won't get... at a high level, players typically can't get value out of it. At a low level, I think there's a lot of potential for ambushes. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun unit, and I think it has the right amount of counterplay. Because it has stealth, which lets it get close to enemy units, but it is not fast. So, you know, once your opponent sees it, if they see it, they can react to it. So there's that counterplay. And then, you know, it's always fun wiping your opponent's squads. For me, anyway. Alright, let me find a game. I'm striking out on games today. Partly my fault. Partly... yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to cast the new map, man. So you guys can watch me. I want you to, like, have to stare at nothing here. So look for some replays together. This is how I find... for those of you that don't know, this is a great way to find high-level games. It's codeb.com. You can do all sorts of filtering. But the 1v1s, this is a great way to find 1v1s. So. You know, and now that I say that, maybe I should... I wonder if... I think this is Rico. I don't know how to tell. I wouldn't know how to tell. Oh, that's only a 20-minute game. 16-minute game. Igloton. That's the game we just watched. Wonder if I said that right. Igloton. I think so. All these short games on that map. Oh, I covered up Twitch chat. Hey, thanks, Alex Stan. I appreciate that. You know, I wish I had more time to do it. Because I like casting and I like playing, and those two things are mutually exclusive. Hey, Alex Stan, and J Raptor, or anybody, would you guys be interested in playing a show match, like, you know, right now? J Raptor saying this patch isn't fun, so no games. New 1v1 map is bad. There's an aliases tab. You can probably confirm if it's Nico. That's a good idea. What are you not liking about 1v1s right now, J Raptor? Yeah, you're right, it is Nico. Pardon me while I take a drink here. Little product placement, you know? But I do like the... yeah, drink this. You're having a beer fest, so your reactions would suffer. It's fair. Okay, sounds good. Art of Life. I have a YouTube channel where I have cast a lot of games. So, you know, if you want to check that out, there should be a link here on my channel. Beer Raptor. Well, I'm biased. Dak main and Dak got dumpstered. Yeah, you know, when I read the patch notes that said the patch notes are like, The 259 costs fuel now, and I thought to myself, oh, J-Raptor's going to be so pissed. Also, question about the DLCs. There are 3 of them. Should a new player get them or nah? I personally have liked all 3 DLCs. I am not up to date on them. Like, I don't know exactly what's in them, so I can't recommend, like, the best one. There's one that gives you heavy tanks. I don't remember what it's called, and I can't exactly show you. But it's there's like a crocodile, and yeah, it's good. So no, I don't care about the 259. I can't stand they removed bonus health from self repair makes stack. One LV's a lot more annoying to use. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, the loss of health. I was talking to Ovadi about that. He said that that was going to be really devastating. And he's right. I think they increased the skill cap of the faction. Alright, I really do need to find a game here. I just want to cast Eagleton. Why is it so hard? You tell me all the games are going to play out like that? I wonder if players don't know enough about the map to, like, be good at it yet. Did I just go low-hanging fruit and cast Dixie versus Kaiser? I haven't cast Barbarossa in a while. I know he used to really spam MGs hard. So our battle group's the term for factions in Co 3. I assume the DLCs give extra playable factions. No. So there's 4 factions in the game. British, US, and then 2 flavors of German army. They all have their own tech trees. They have their own, like, their own units. They're fairly unique. And what gives each of the armies further variety is battle groups. So each battle group, you go into a game and you have 3 battle groups selected. And then in the game, you pick one of those battle groups and it gives you extra units or extra abilities or whatever. So for example, the US has an airborne battle group where they can paradrop in heavy machine guns and AT guns and stuff like that. Also, I wouldn't mind the removal of the bonus HP on DAC if infantry was sustainable. But it's okay. Lelix said it's good and balanced. Don't worry. Oh, I'm sorry, J-Raptor. I'm sorry you're frustrated with this patch, man. Alright. I don't know, man. I don't know what I want to cast. I wish that this thing worked for 4v4. You can't search... Oh, you can. Okay. Can I get, like, a reasonable length one here? Can I even get the new map? Maybe. 30-minute game. New map. Let's try it. All factions represented. Please. Please be a good game. Oh, yeah. Alright, I need to quickly look up what these players' names are, so I'm not putting something offensive. Way of life. This is like a proper noun. So. Come do customs for Josh. He's bored. I do want to cast this team game. Perfect boyfriend energy for 2v2. Okay, hold up. Let's see. Just keep health and slow reps so the Unga Bunga isn't ready to go again after 1 minute. One of the reasons I took interest in Code 3 is because AoE 4 is a Relic game, or at least partly developed by Relic. Yeah, you're right about that. They also did, can't remember the name of it. It's the Warhammer 40k. I don't know what it's called. I'll become a lame wear main. Don't you worry. All right. I'm gonna watch this game. But I do need to take a short break. So I will be back in 2 minutes here as this game loads. Oh, great thing. Go. And I'm going to turn off ELOs because that's a lot. Well, maybe I'll leave it on to start. Okay. Alrighty. This is going to be tough. I need to know the name of the map. I don't freaking know it. It is called Stello della Nebbia. Nebbia. Stello della Nebbia. Oh my god, dude. Why does Relic do this to me? You know? Alright, before I quickly get underway. Oh yeah, Dawn of War, you're right about that. Bro, I was gonna leave my GF sitting on the couch alone because of Co3. Co3 is better than GF. I do, however, feel he wants to see us play the new 1v1 map. It is true. If you guys want to play the new 1v1 map, honestly, I've got this replay saved. Like, if you guys want to do a 1v1, I will cast it right now. I'd like to do, show match vibes, so maybe not strictly meta, if that sounds interesting to you, but it's up to you guys. You want to do that? YouTube has a friggin' massive stream delay. I don't know why it's got such a huge delay. Like, it's like 60 seconds. Yeah, let's see if Bambone wants to play. But he's got a girlfriend, so it's awkward. I can go right now. All right, let's do it. Alright, don't forget to turn on observer mode. I'm just saying. Yeah, no worries. You've got 7 viewers all eagerly awaiting this game, Bambone. One day I'll get to cast this 4v4. Not today. Maybe we'll do camera on for show match. Crazy. I don't think the people of YouTube are ready for that. What's an approximate average match time for 1v1s in Code 3? In AoE 4, it's 22 minutes. The range is from 10 to 30. I would say you're roughly there. Games can get up to like 40 minutes. Like I've played one singular hour-long game. In Code 3. Yeah, J-Raptor's right. Oh my god, there's a 26-minute match on Samoa. I need to remember this person. I'm gonna watch that game. Alright. J-Raptor, you guys still working? Show me games in progress here. I think I have to do it through observer mode. About to start. Okay. Cool. Oh man. So excited. And I really should have done that April Fool's thing. Cast a super low level game. I think it would have been funny, but I didn't want to make fun of people. Game mode. Sort by game mode? Nope. Which type? Friends? Oh, cool. Wait, I have friends here? I have all sorts of friends online. Okay, here we go. I found you. Oh, it's gonna make me wait. I think you guys have an observer delay. Oh, maybe not. Okay. All right, let's get set up. Going. Cameras off. Contents on. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another Company of Heroes 3 game. My name is FancyJosh, and today I've got a game for you between J-Raptor as our British, and his opponent today is going to be Bambone Wertherone. And dude, I feel so bad for this player. Every time I cast them, I mispronounce their name. As our Africa Corps. This is a show match that's happening on my Twitch stream and YouTube. If you are interested in catching this live in the future, I will be hopefully casting once a week and uploading to YouTube about that same frequency. But this is a show match on my channel. These two players agreed to play the new map for me, and hopefully we'll see what they've got in store for us here. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the new map. I think there's a lot of fuel up for grabs in the middle. It is kind of tough to get out of your base if your opponent controls the right side of the map. I haven't seen the same happening on the left side, but could be that we see that change in this game here. First fight of the game happening. These Panzer Pioneers getting super aggressive, blocking off these 2 8 fuel points on this left side. There's an infantry section on the way to help out. Motorcycle grabbing up territory on that right side while this is happening. And yeah, these Panzer Pioneers not going to be able to hang out here for very long. Does feel like this may have been a delaying tactic, and it's working. Panzer Grenadiers in the area as well. Panzer Pioneers going to get in this church over here. Royal Engineers going to close at the Panzer Grenadiers as they back away into the house for that extra cover. But now these Royal Engineers are able to use this heavy cover to capture that point. Motorcycle continuing to grab up territory on that right side for free. Panzer Pioneers need to get in that heavy cover. They are going to do it, but I think they're exposed on this angle here. So not going to actually take any reduced damage and are going to back away. More British infantry sections being added on here. Royal Engineers finding a motorcycle to scuffle with. And Bambone out to a slight lead on fuel control. And despite the fact that J-Raptor is controlling this point here, Bambone is not J-Raptor is not connected to this fuel. She's rectifying now. Royal Engineers getting super aggressive on that motorcycle to drive him back. Recce package on the way. So the Recce package in this latest patch has detection, I think. They have basically 35 detection range. So stealth units are not going to work against that Recce package at all. Doesn't look like Bambone has elected to add on any stealth units. I happen to know this about Bambone, that he likes to play the Battlefield Espionage battle group, which provides some stealth capabilities. I'd be surprised if we saw him use that in this latest patch, but we'll see. Looks like Bambone is teching up. No, floating a little bit of manpower here. I think he's thinking about teching. But this has been a low fuel game so far. And more infantry sections on the field here. Should see him stop adding on infantry sections after this. You know, while we're on the subject of build orders, J-Raptor has gone for this double Royal Engineer opening. And this opening used to be really, really good. I mean, it was like every game you saw it, there was no doubt that you would go for this build. And I think players kind of leaned off of that in the latest patch. Well, the patch that came out in December, because there was an increase in the build rate of infantry sections, so you could get infantry sections out faster and not have to sacrifice fighting power. But I don't know. In this latest patch, I've been seeing people do it more. I think folks are realizing that Royal Engineer is still good. Double Royal Engineer is still good. And Yeah, we're kind of seeing that here. So Bambone did tech up,
Is being overrun.
and now he has these assault grens. Where are they? Right here, which are managing to close the gap with this infantry section. And just going to smoke off the building there while he captures this point. Infantry section bailing out the back there, going to escape. Royal Engineers finding the motorcycle once again, but Panzer Grenadiers closing the gap and marking them. So it does have increased accuracy despite this unit being on the retreat. And they are going to escape there. Royal Engineers trying to grab this fuel. Should be able to do so. And Bambone cannot approach this unit hiding in that heavy cover with the flamethrower. Absolutely no way. Assault Gren's going to come down. And these guys should be able to deal with these Royal Engineers despite their flamethrower. It's just going to hold ground and burn that unit as they try to close the gap there. Panzerjäger's added on for some anti-vehicle. Bambone clearly expecting his opponent to go for a Humber armored car here. And breach being used to force those Royal Engineers out of the building. Not sure that's something you want to do because units in buildings take increased damage from flamethrowers and going to have to retreat there. So not going to lose the unit. He's going to walk away with fuel control. And as I say that, trading fuel on this right side once again. Yeah, so this this medium fuel locked behind a light fuel is such a bizarre thing. Like, so I like the idea. You know, I'm all about experimenting with map design. I think this map is cool. You know, it's got a heavy urban area on the left side and a wide open ground area on the right side. But I don't know, this munitions locked over here leads to an interesting situation where you basically have to control this point in order to control this point. And I don't know, it feels like dedicating units to this right side of the map is a tall order. I don't know. It's cool. It's interesting. I need more data. Need more data on this map. Infantry sections just holding down against these long-range Panzerjägers, which aren't getting anything done because there are no vehicles for them to shoot at. But there is a Stuart on the way here for J-Raptor. And fortunately for Bambone, he does have the anti-tank unit ready for that. And Assault Gren's going to grab this left side. Another player locking in a battle group just yet. Mechanized company on the way for Bambone. And maybe we'll see an 8-rad. Well, I think we might see an 8-rad if he doesn't see this Stuart. Flamethrower going to make short work of those Panzer Grenadiers in the building. Motorcycle grabbing away territory. And Panzerjägers continuing to just hang out and do their best. Here comes the Stuart. Instantly adding on this survival package, which gives them the smoke canister so that they can pop smoke and get away from a bad situation potentially. Panzerjägers are rotating to deal with it. Nice assault Grenadiers doing some serious work against that infantry section, trying to catch them out on their retreat, but not going to happen. Stuart, what happened there? What was that? What just happened, man? No freaking way. I don't know what that unit took so much damage from. I'm going to ask the players. Mortar added on here for J-Raptor, locking in the Indian Artillery Battle Group. Also has this CW truck, which he's upgraded to the Polston, for that anti-air gun that's just fine against infantry. But these Panzer Grenadiers closing in behind the mortar. I don't think this mortar is going to get stolen. That would be pretty suicidal by those Panzer Grenadiers. They are just trying to delay. They're ultimately going to have to give up the position there. And despite the bloodbath, still a relatively blue map, especially in terms of fuel control. Oh, J-Raptor is able to get his mortar back here. Here come the Panzerjäger. Looks like he's wanting to dive that Polston, but not going to happen. And this is an interesting play. I mean, this 250 has the ability to tow. So if he was able to wipe that mortar, for example, he would have been able to tow it away. But not able to do so in time. You see barbed wire coming down here from J-Raptor to deny this heavy cover. Love to see that. And the double load up in the ambulance. Very cool. I mean, it's a high APM maneuver, but is gonna let him get his units back on the field quickly here. Mortar doing some serious work against that 250, so smart to back away there. Just gonna decapture it. Doesn't want to stand in the mortar fire if possible, and as I say, that walks right into it. Saltgrens hopping into and out of the 250 to get their Vet 1 bonus, which lets them run crazy fast and take very little damage. And this motorcycle has been MVP so far. Dude, it is really bothering me. I don't know what happened to that Stewart. Like, I looked away and then I looked back and it was like 0 health. So I don't know if he stood in the line of fire for a while or drove into a mine or a demo charge or something. Like, I don't... But there's no demo charges, so I don't know what had done that much damage. Assault Grenadiers continuing. Oh no, Panzer Grenadier going down there. But yeah, I love that he keeps using these Assault Grens. He's like hopping in these vehicles and then hopping out just to get the bonus and then charging forward without actually using the unit. Panzerjäger's winning a fight on this left side, gonna get that fuel. J-Raptor having to focus the fuel on this left side seemingly. Victory points extremely even. Here comes the Polston. Gonna chase down this 250 potentially. I think he's gonna get him. Yeah, he is gonna get him. Nice. Motorcycle also backing away. He's gonna escape there. Nice little pickup by the Polston. And infantry training up next. And support elements on the way for Bambone. So I think we're gonna see Stugs. I think we're gonna see some Stugs here. Stugs, of course, pretty darn good against infantry. They do okay in this urban environment. Lots of places for them to hide their weak side armor. And both players kind of just ignoring this right side. They're kind of just trading territory back and forth. I'd love to see the assault... well, I was going to say I'd love to see the assault Grens load up into a vehicle and come over here and kind of shut this down. But, of course, he did lose his 250, so just using that ambulance to deliver units to the front line again. That strategy makes me happy every time I see it. I think he was throwing grenades in anticipation of this unit retreating, but J-Raptor was all over it. Polston doing work down here. How many kills does he have? 9 kills already. Double Panzerjäger going to force him back, though. And a breach used there. I think the breach actually may have hit that infantry section. But man, that was a Pyrrhic victory for Bambone. Lost a lot of units getting into this area. Should be able to potentially capture that fuel. He's being really hesitant because of the mortar. Ambulance still in the area, healing up that unit. And Polston actually having range and vision there. Here comes the mortar once again. Stug on the way for Bambone. Yeah, so I really like this build from Bambone. This is my current favorite build for the Africa Corps. You get your infantry corps, you know, however you want to describe this as your infantry backbone. And then you get 1 or 2 of these Stugs, and then you finish off with a elephant. And I know the elephant is not super good. But I freaking love the elephant, and you can't convince me that it isn't fun to use. So now on a map like this, I think the elephant may have a rough go of it, because there's not a lot of long sight lines other than that road right in the middle. And these grenadiers just playing ring around the house here, hopping in, using breach, and hopping out. And once again, going to use breach here. But the Stug has arrived. So this Polston, despite how much value it's gotten, is going to be driven back here. There is a 6-pounder ready for this Stug. And Bambone, unafraid here, just diving into the line of fire. But should be able to escape there, no problem. Alright, so here's hoping J-Raptor goes for artillery. I don't think that artillery is the right call in this situation, but he does have the Indian Artillery Battle Group. You know, we're probably going to... Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of the Gurkhas. Oh my god, these Assault Grants have used Breach like 7,000 times. Double Panzerjäger pushing forward with the support of the Stug. And that's going to be an air burst, isn't it? No, that's the base artillery barrage from this recce package. Salkran's able to hold it down in this house for a long, long time. But despite holding this house for like the last 3 minutes here, Bambone does not actually control the majority of fuel. And so this Stug has not gotten its value just yet. He's going to have to back away here a little bit. Motorcycle continuing to be active in the wings of the map, and this recce package is repaying the favor. Company command post on the way for J-Raptor. So probably going to see a Matilda here. Recce flare. Providing vision for this airburst shells from the battle group there. Off-map artillery barrage. It's funny to me that it's still called off-map artillery barrage, because if you have artillery on the field, it will also fire those barrages at the same time. And it is going to be double Stug here for Bambone. So, yeah, this double Stug is a force to be reckoned with. And a big move over to this right side by Bambone. It's going to come out behind on fuel once again. But is going to be able to dominate that right side. And as I say that, I mean there's this big old infantry group moving in on the left side, going to force back those Royal Engineers. Panzerjägers screening against the potential Polston, which is on the scene and ready. Royal Engineers doing their thing from the church, just burning away everything that they can. Still getting some good shots on the infantry sections, and continuing to be aggressive against that Polston. Man, doing good damage there with that heavy, the light machine gun upgraded. And what is this? The Stug can go up the stairs. Oh my god, I didn't know that vehicles could go up those stairs. That's hilarious. And this is not a building you want to be in. But a good hit from the Stug. Both players actually forced to retreat there. And fights happening all over the place. Here come the Assault Grens. Looks like they were capturing... Oh, nice stun grenade. And this unit's in deep trouble now with that stun grenade actually slowing them down on the retreat. They're going to die. Oh, what a huge grenade that was. Wow. That was a huge grenade. And Stug finding the backline here, getting him behind this AT gun. There's a recce package here with grenades for a potential snare, so the Stug can't chase. And smoke being popped by the heavy mortar there. And here comes a Matilda. No surprise there. Matilda can basically shrug off those Panzerjägers and should be doing pretty well in that urban environment. Second Stug here in a bad spot. Gonna get snared and potentially go down to this AT gun. Looks like he is gonna go down. Yep. So getting a little greedy there. You know, it's okay to get aggressive with your tanks, but you need to know what your opponent has in the fog of war, and you often want infantry to screen if you're going to try and get aggressive like that, but that's okay. An important pickup for J-Raptor for sure. And this house has just been absolutely abused by both players. Still getting in a fight with this Matilda. Do see some mines going down. You know what? I think I figured out what wrecked that a Stuart, potentially. It might have been a mine. No. It couldn't have been a mine. I don't know what it was, man. I was going to speculate that it was an anti-tank mine from this Panzerjäger battle group, but I don't think that it was. Alright, Matilda moving into the area here. Gonna force back all these Panzerjägers. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw these Panzerjägers upgrade to the tank hunters, and it looks like one of them already has. Doesn't really have the munitions for it right now, but does need those Panzer Shreks for their increased damage and penetration against that Matilda. And Bambones, yeah, I mean, he's well on his way to a elephant. And I think an elephant hanging out right here could be pretty good. We've already seen, this is an anti-tank mine right there. So Bambone is making use of the, or making, making use of his battle group there. Getting down some anti-tank mines to protect a future elephant, potentially. Love this pack gun added on here just to dissuade the Matilda at range. And you know what J-Raptor needs is an artillery emplacement, and that's exactly what he's adding on. So that was kind of a joke. I think artillery emplacements are often a liability and don't provide a lot of value, especially if your opponent is able to remove them quickly. These Vets 3 Assault Grens are just freaking ridiculous. Oh, grenades in a good spot. Should get some good damage. Is going to force him back there. Matilda tanking up these Panzer Shreks at long range. Not able to penetrate the front armor that's Stug. And Matilda needs to continue to back away. Where is that artillery emplacement going down? Where is that going down? Right here, back of the, very close to his base. He's having a hard time defending this side. He might want to put, like, the Matilda over here. He's basically committing to defending this area for the rest of the game. Now, this artillery emplacement is online. The Indian artillery emplacement is really good at denying an area for a long time. The number of shells it fires is kind of ridiculous, especially if you take the battle group option to increase the number of shells it fires. He's also getting the team weapons training. That team weapon training is going to increase the rate of fire on all of his units, all of his team weapons, that is. And, of course, gives you a nice chunk of veterancy, which we're seeing here. So potentially going to get up to Vet 1 a little bit faster there. Now, these infantry sections are trying to control this fuel point, but here comes the butterfly bombs from Bambone. Going to make this area miserable to live in, and we do see the elephant added on here. So J-Raptor doesn't have an answer to the elephant, but the good news for him is he doesn't strictly need an answer. This is a dead... Oh, nicely done. He got the Royal Engineers in there with the Minesweepers at the last possible second while he was retreating that unit to disable those mines so that he didn't lose those units on the retreat. Those Panzerjägers taking huge damage from the Polston and Matilda, but going to eat some elephant shots at maximum range there. Absolutely shredding this Matilda. And this Matilda needs to go hide in the city. Like, this area is now off limits to British tanks. So, Assault Gren's closing the gap with this AT gun. Royal Engineers going down. Oh, that was the Minesweeper unit as well. Is this unit firing? It is. Where is he firing? He's firing on his opponent's base. Oh my god, if he gets a good connection, he could wipe those units. But there should be getting out of there now. Yep. And, this is like... Oh, man, and these anti-personnel mines going down for Bambone. So that's the thing about this strategy from Bambone. It's a slow roll. Like, when you in the early game, you struggle to control the map. You struggle to get aggressive. But as soon as you have a Stug, you can start making plays. And then the second Stug comes out, and then by the time your opponent adds on their own tanks, you've got your elephants. So that's kind of what we're seeing here. I love this. I love this strategy. All right, so victory points looking good. for both players still. We've seen some bleed on both halves. But, yeah. So J-Raptor, I think he called off his Matilda. And the reason he did that is because this elephant is going to absolutely own any tanks that he fields. So we could see Bambone transitioning into infantry heavy. Like, even more infantry heavy. So we could see some... I mean, he's got the infantry reserves to make it cheaper to reinforce. We could see potentially some Gurkhas or another artillery emplacement. Actually, looks like it's going to be a Crusader. And is that a Crusader? It is. Silhouette's tricking me once again. And this house still somehow standing. Uh-oh. Panzerjägers, tank hunters finding the Polston. Is going to get one shot in. Not enough to finish him. And this is a Vet 3 mortar here. And a Vet 3 Polston. Very cool. Yep, so Stug's being re-added. More mines going down. J-Raptor did add on some minesweepers again. I was going to say he has plenty of manpower, but he's dumping it into his Crusaders. Another barrage coming down. Where's this one going? At the base again? It is. Yeah, so I don't know about this. I mean, if you don't know where your opponent's units are, I don't mind the idea of barraging your opponent's base. It's also a decent way to get XP, because you're guaranteed to get hits. But, I mean, he's not actually getting any damage. I mean, it's damage on buildings. We'll see if that translates to damage on units.
Sector lost. Repeat, sector lost.
Yeah, these mines, man. Bambone's got this whole area locked down. Like, this is the strength of this build, is your ability to, like, turtle up in one little area. So Bambone can basically just hold this area, no problem, the rest of the game. And J-Raptor kind of needs to go around. Looks like his approach is going to be build up a bunch of Crusaders and potentially dive the elephant. And I just lost my recording. I ran out of disk space. Whoops. Straight Stugan. Oh no, dude, I'm so mad I just ran out of disk space. No, dude, this game's been great. It's just one of those days. Yeah, Polston going down here. And I think this artillery is also going to go down. Stug did go down. Here comes the dive on the elephant. He is getting in behind it. Elephant trying his best. I mean, he's getting some good hits here. That elephant's got a nice little position, though. One Crusader traded for an elephant. Look at this Vet 3. Oh man, tank shock on the tank shock on this Crusader is going to let this elephant potentially rotate in. Pack gun did go down to the airburst. Is this elephant dead? Look how freaking tanky he is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep. I can't believe that elephant lived and the AT gun. And I think we're probably going to see a surrender here. Gurkha's added on. Wow. Wow, what a game this has been. Man, I'm over here fuming about losing my recording. That's okay. It's okay. It's just going to be special for you guys on YouTube and Twitch catching it live. That's just the way it's going to be, and that's okay. Alright, so where does J-Raptor go from here? I mean, losing the artillery, he lost both his Crusaders. He had manpower, but he doesn't really anymore. The elephant is crippled, and if he never builds another tank, the elephant will basically do nothing the rest of this game. So... Oh, looks like a Panzerjäger went down. Nice. And continuing to be aggressive here. I mean, him stealing this Shrek would be kind of nice. As an answer to the Stugs. He's chasing those AT guns. I mean, none of this can fight back. What happened to the Assault Grins? Assault Grins are coming now on the back of this Stug.
Artillery barrage on the way.
Elephant in a hilariously bad spot, but not in any real danger. And an artillery barrage to keep those AT guns from going back into their base. Assault Grin's gonna pick up the infantry section.
Section has fallen.
Oh, man. Yeah. And the Gurkhas fighting the elephant. Oh, man. Oh, man. That was good. J-Raptor, Bambone, thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate the artillery. You did that just for me. I know you did. Well, that was a pretty good Art of Life. I don't know if you're still here, but that's kind of it's kind of how those 1v1s play out. And you notice that there was a swing in that game. This game can swing hard. Like, you could be in a situation where your opponent has dominated the map the whole game, and then yeah, dude, thanks for building that elephant. Howitzer OP. I know, dude, I know. They're so hard. So hard to keep alive. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I freaking ran out of disk space during the recording, and that one's not going on YouTube. It's just been a bad luck day for recording for me, and it's just, that's the way it is. So that's the way it is. Yeah, just to be clear, I have 3 terabytes of videos. I did get one. I managed to get one. Oh. What time is it? I haven't eaten breakfast yet, which is totally suicidal. Yeah, I have to go. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Bambone. I'm sorry, dude. Your elephant strats were just too good. The recording saw the elephant, was like, time to crash. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I am gonna try to keep streaming on a regular basis. Sorry about the slow uploads. I just don't have time. But yeah, it's been good having y'all. So send me replays this week. Send me replays. We'll cast them next time I stream, which hopefully will be Friday. Saturday next week. Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid here. Are we gonna raid Lavati? Alright, y'all. Have a good rest of your day.